Hey y'all. This is Friday night. You know what that means? That means we're about to come to you unapologetically, period. Okay. So I'm your host, Khadeejah, and joining me today is my co-host, my cohort, my sahab, but that's kind of a blood technology. But anyway, my partner, my mini me, my twinsy, sometimesy, when she's acting righty, my daughter Nyila, aka
my killer. I was like, yeah, I knew I was gonna say it.
And we are about to get into it and talk about it. I'm gonna give y'all a few moments to log in with us, to get on this chat with us, because we're about to talk about this Ritz or this clubhouse. Dare I say this communion wafer who killed Alva's brother. Okay, and we're gonna talk about him. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all a few moments to come on into the room. Come on into the room. We gonna talk about it. Come on into the room. We gonna talk about it. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Again, this is Unapologetic, and I'm Khadeejah. This is Nyila, and we just want to come to you tonight. I know the other week, we had some fun, some kikis. We had all the jokes, all the live, and we was talking about something that was kind of funny. Now we want to talk about moving to something a little bit more serious. Now we're going to get our kikis on because, you can't have serious without a little levity, right? We're going to talk a little bit about the Derek Chauvin case. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna let Nyila talk to you a little bit about. She has a story that she wants to talk about that traumatized her and her friend not too long ago. Now make sure you don't put all the expletives in it.
I'm gonna try not
keep
to.
It PG. Keep it PG.
I'm going to try to keep it PG. But I was sitting in front of my friend's house with my two friends, and we were in the car and with the light on, and the police passed by us. And they turned back around and double backed on us. That's what we call double back. And they double backed on us and made us get out the car and try to search my car, saying that they were looking for guns and dope. And we told them we don't have any guns, no dope, any of that stuff. And then they took all of our IDs, looked up all of our names. But thank God we were in front of my friend's house because his mom came outside. And we were able to be basically like saved. I don't know how to explain it, but it was definitely a scary experience. He walked to my window because it was we were in my car, and he basically didn't even put his lights on. He didn't even blurb us. Like, he just turned on his bright lights, and it was actually a very scary experience because I've definitely seen a lot of videos, a lot of things like that. And there was also a black male in the car with dreads, so it was definitely scary because they were picking on him and he was in the passenger seat, literally. So we were in the car for about a good 15-20 minutes. And after all the questioning, they didn't even search the car. They just wanted to basically see if we had anything on us. And they were kind of interrogating us, asking us a lot of questions. Like, I had my cousin's lanyard on my mirror, my rearview mirror. And they were asking me who he is, what's his name, like how did he pass away, and things like that, if he was in a gang or anything. So it was very uncomfortable. But yeah, thank God that his mom came outside and saved us because they were definitely messing with all of us.
Right. And so that was how long ago?
Well, last week.
Okay. And so since then, I haven't really seen you be driving your car. Are you not driving anymore?
For a little bit. Not really. I don't really like to anymore. It's scary. This been a lot. And then literally my friend that was in the car with me, she just got pulled over the day before with her boyfriend and things like that. So it was really bad like that. They were in the car, really questioning them, scaring them, I don't know how to explain it. They were asking her just a lot of questions about her life, her past, and asking her who her mom was, and is her mom ever been convicted of a just things like that. Just a lot of questions. And then they said the same thing, but they said the same thing to her, that they were looking for guns and dope. They were very intrusive, though. Definitely very intrusive.
So now, mind you, my child drives a Toyota Camry. She's not in no kind of car that's just decked out. She ain't in no raggedy car either. It's a Toyota Camry, so it's like a legit everybody family car, right? And so she don't have no tint. She don't have no heavy, like none of that stuff. She ain't got no beat in the car. You know what I'm saying? So there's like zero opportunity. And my husband and I and her father, we keep the car maintenance. So there ain't no lights out. There's no reason for her to get pulled over to where, or for them to even stop her. And from my understanding, you were already stopped.
Oh yeah, my car didn't even move that night. It wasn't moved for 3 days. I just got back from camping and we just got in my car, so it wasn't even moving.
So, as a 20-year-old young woman, having dealt with that, and also having seen an incident, we see all these incidents on Instagram. We see all these incidents on Facebook. We see them on the news, right? But we also see an incident of personally a few years back. My husband made a U-turn and the cops got behind us and pulled us over, and they did the whole entire fool. Like, it was just out of this world. And I jumped out. I was picking up my daughter from a party, and I jumped out in my pajamas. And y'all, sometimes you wear pajamas. That's all you got on, okay? Right. So I was swinging from east to west, okay? It was all over the place.
Queenie got out the car. The dog got out the car. She started tripping on police. It was crazy.
And it was just an awful experience. And they didn't want to give me no information. They told my husband, we can't give you any information. We can't tell you anything. We can't tell you anything. And it wasn't until I kind of lightweight did a little name call and I pulled a little rank or whatever, and then they want to give me all the information. Now they're helpful and beneficial because they now think I'm affiliated with them, right? But didn't want to tell us anything until I was like, hey, these are my credentials. Come, what's up? And so then they want to give us all the information, right? And so, but it was the scariest thing ever because it was just unexpected. I didn't expect it. My husband didn't. They pulled him out the car. Like, it was just a big old thing. Like, they called backup, and it was like, bro, we super legit. I'm confused. Like, we super legit. Let's just say that. And so it was a big to do. So now she's experienced that. She experienced this. Every day we're seeing somebody get shot, get killed, get harassed, get thrown on the ground, pepper sprayed, stomped out, whatever it is, whatever the police are doing these days in 2021, they are still actively doing it. And so our question today is, and I know that you all also have personal trauma, and I know sometimes there's not always a safe space, and people tell you shouldn't be angry. This is just how it works, or you need to make sure that you do this. Put your hands out. Make sure that you don't touch anything. Keep your hands on the wheel at 10 and 2. Make sure that you don't reach for anything. Make sure that you say please and thank you. Make sure that you let someone violate your rights so that you can make it back home to your family. And so I think what we're saying today and what we've always said was enough is enough. But as we get older and we acquire more things, we acquire property, land, good jobs, 401ks, we get a little bit more lax in how we are activated. So I wanted to ask a young adult, a young woman, Gen Z, how are they activating? How are they not just activating, but how are they working through this personal trauma, this type of stress that's put on you? And you don't even know that you're stressed out. You don't even know that the weight is on you until you get pulled over, whether you're driving or you're a passenger. If you just get pulled over, if that those lights go up behind you, it's an instant like fear of, oh my God, I'm getting pulled over. And so, as a young adult, I want you to speak to some of the places where you do feel safe, some of the things that you do feel like you have to do when you encounter the police. What are some of the things?
Definitely a please and thank you. It's like a manners thing. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I have to talk to them like they are the authorities, like they are. But definitely the 10 and 2, putting my both hands on the wheel, rolling my window down. I am actually like very shaky when they come around. There was also another encounter that we had with my boyfriend's little cousin. He just turned 17 now. We're going to the Vacaville Mall, and there was a lot of people stealing and things like that weekend, but we weren't a part of any of that. So we're going to the
We
mall.
weren't stealing that weekend.
We wasn't stealing
The
period.
weekend before,
You sound crazy.
They should have got me the weekend before, but that weekend,
no.
we was paying for stuff.
It was bad. We went there for his grandma to pick something up from the mall, and it was his cousin's birthday, and these police pulled us over and said that, but they were pulling everyone over. We pulled up to the mall, and there was like 2 people already pulled over. So my boyfriend decided to turn around and not stay there and go to a different mall. And so he stopped at the stop sign and then turned around, did a U-turn, and then they blurped us in my car, of course, in my car again. And his little cousin was in the back. He had a wife beater on, and he is chocolate. I mean, dark as night. I mean, he is the perfect color of chocolate. Like, he is not like, I mean, night. But, and he's actually really big. He's a really big 17-year-old. And so they thought he was lying about his age. They asked him, "Where's your ID?" He didn't have anything on him at all. He just turned 18, so he didn't have any real IDs. He was like, "I have my school ID." They were like, "No, we need an actual ID of you." And the guy who came up to his window actually had his hand on his gun, and that's when all of us were like. And then it was actually. But there was 3 officers, and the guy who came up to my window, he was really cool. The guy who came up to my boyfriend's window, like he was like the head, he was like the sheriff, like he was the dude who was checking stuff out, and
he was the senior officer there.
But then there was a rookie. That was the guy who had his hand on his gun,
and we be the ones.
And we asked him how long he was working there for. He said it's been 2 months, and he literally had his hand on his gun like this when he walked up, and he asked Ramel in the back. He asked him. Why?
You gotta say people's names.
Well, a girl already said it. You know what I mean? He was just talking. He asked him in the back.
Everybody on blast.
Long story short, he asked him why is he looking so suspicious? He asked him why he looked so suspicious. Why did we pull over suspiciously? And his senior officer asked him to be quiet because he was telling him like, "You're doing too much. There's been a lot of killings with the kids and things like that." Books. Yeah, and he was telling him like, cut it off because. We were actually very shook. We were very shaken because we asked him why did he walk up to us with his hand on his gun. And that's when they were like telling the guy to like calm down, like telling him to calm down. He's doing a lot. Blonde hair, blue eyes, definitely.
Well, we ain't gonna say that that's indicative of anything. However, go carry on.
So yeah, it was definitely a traumatic experience, but I could say staying in at night definitely a safe thing to do now. No partying, no any of that. Like. Just being out at night is just scary. You get pulled over for everything, any and everything. And you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's pulling you over. You don't know what kind of officer they are, how long they've been working there. So it's definitely, I like to ride with my friends. Let's just say that. I rather ride with my friends than drive my own car because I don't like being the one to have to roll their window down or to have to be in that position. But we're all in that position at the end of the day.
You're all in that position.
It's very scary.
Right.
Very, very scary.
Right. And so my tip to her was you need to put on your phone, you need to okay Siri or Siri, call my mom on speaker because I need to get there. I need to know where you at and I'm on my way because what I'm not about to do is play with these folks. Right. I'm not going to play with these folks about mine because what they want to do is violate your rights because you don't know the rights that you have until they're violated. Exactly. So I try to teach mine their rights prior. I always teach them to respect their elders, no matter who they are. I always teach them to respect those who are in positions of authority. Just respect human beings, period. Just at the end of the day, you don't want to just go off popping off at nobody for no reason, right, Naomi, period, right? You don't want to just go popping off at nobody for no reason. You want to make sure that you're being respectful to everyone, right? Because at the end of the day, these people are just trying to do their jobs. But when their job goes wrong, right? That's what we want to talk about. When their job goes wrong, right? We got Derek Chauvin, who it went wrong. He went wrong.
Is Derek Chauvin or Derek Chauvin?
It's Chauvin.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah, so he went wrong. He's the one that killed Brother George Floyd, and over 9 minutes on the brother's neck. And he got found guilty of every single count. Now, some people are calling this justice. Some people are calling this accountability. I want to know what you're calling it. Some people are calling this victory. Some people are calling this a battle that's won. What are you calling it? What is this to you? What does this conviction mean to you? To me, I'm on the side of accountability. Why? Because the sentence hasn't gone forth. We got 2 months before he's sentenced, and the sentence is in the hand of the judge.
Yeah.
Now, the judge could be lenient. The judge could show mercy. The judge can do just about anything. The judge could, because he's an officer and has done some good in the community, give him commute his sentence to where he doesn't have to do that much time, if any at all. And so I want to talk about it here today. I want you to chime in. I want you to comment and let me know, what do you guys think about the verdict? I think that he should have been found guilty on all charges, and I'm thankful that he was found guilty on all charges. I believe there's a lot more people that need to be found guilty on these charges, cell phones or not. You know, we do eyewitnesses when two people commit a crime together and one tells on the other person. The court takes their word that the other person did something wrong, and they'll let up on one defendant and take another co-defendant down because he didn't say anything. Meanwhile, a law-abiding citizen in the public can't be an eyewitness that is believable to the court. Like, why does it have to be video if it doesn't have to be video to convict people who are on the street, people who are in an authority, but it has to be video, audio, 20,000 people standing around, the court of public opinion and everything before we see this type of action. So we have a former police officer, Derek Chauvin. So 2 months. I don't know that 2 months that he's gonna make it to the sentencing. I'm not wishing anything on the man, but the way it looks like to me is they might Jeffrey Epstein him, or he might Jeffrey Epstein his own self. I don't know. But I am glad that this went down, and I hope that this conviction shows a precedent in the court, that they now can point towards the state versus Chauvin in order to help convict other dirty cops, help convict other even cops who call themselves being good cops but don't do anything. That's not a good cop. That's not a good person. That's not a good human being. If you're not on the right side of things, you're not doing the right thing, just period. It's time out for neutrality. It's time out for apathy. You have to be active. You have to motivate. You have to be motivated to do something. Either it's good or it's bad. So where are you right now? Do you feel safer because of this conviction? Do you feel like this conviction may have done more harm in the community? What say you? What do you say?
I actually do not feel safer, but I do feel like definitely on the side of accountability, because this is only one police officer. It's only one.
Yeah.
And there are hundreds, thousands, built a bunch of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if we could count, like, we probably not even out here, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot that they can't even make up for. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, I'm definitely on the side of accountability with this case, and I'm definitely glad that he was guilty on all counts.
All counts.
All 3 counts.
I think they should have charged him with murder 1. That's just me. Because I feel like you thought about that. You, like, for you kneeling on his neck for 9 minutes, I feel like he was brushing his teeth and he was like, we about to kill a nigga today. I feel like he was brushing his teeth and he was like, I can't wait. I can't wait. You know, and it's got to be somebody good, somebody who got a rap sheet, somebody who already, you know, the police or the court thinks negatively of. Like, I'm about to go get this sucker, and he gotta live below this street and in this neighborhood, and don't nobody care about his life, and I'm gonna make sure, and he gotta be black and he gotta be a man because that's my target. That's big game hunting right there. So I feel like, you know, he should have got murder 1 for that. They should have tried him for murder 1, even if they weren't gonna convict him, because I done been on juries and they done convicted. They have for somebody committed 1 crime, they have like 11 counts of that same type of crime. Crazy. 11 different counts. They got like robbery, burglary, theft, petty theft, grand larceny, grand theft for stealing one thing.
What is it? Assault with bodily injury. What is it?
All that. They gonna definitely give you that.
Him. You got your knee on me. That's a whole.
Man, I'm gonna give him. He need a gun enhancement. He need all that. I'm gonna give him everything. Right. I'm gonna give him hate crime. He gonna have to now be tried federally for the hate crime law, because obviously you did this to the black man. You weren't finna do it to nobody else because you ain't done it before. Right. So now, in light of this case, they're now re-looking at other cases that he's been a part of, other altercations that he's been a part of previously with similar type of conditions, right? So now they're checking his history. So I think they need to check everybody's history. I think a whole lot of cops need to be fired. I think a whole lot of cops need to be relieved of their duty. A whole lot of cops not only need to be relieved of their duty, they need to be relieved of their firearms. They shouldn't have access to firearms, even ones that they own themselves. There's a lot of people out here who are in this industry. They're police officers for the wrong reason. For the wrong reason. They have a Superman cop. What do you call it? What is that thing called when you got it's like an ego, but it's not. It's, they got the whole Superman persona. Like they think that they're here to save the day and they can be judge, jury, and executioner, when in all reality, you're not. Basically, you're a glorified babysitter. Right. Let's be clear. You are to keep the peace. You are to protect and to serve the people. So if you're not protecting and serving the people, you trying to protect and serve yourself. That's the problem with a lot of them. They're like, oh, I want to go home to see my family. Oh, but your job is to make sure that other people get home to see their family. That's why you get hazard pay. That's why you signed up for this position, to be a hero in the community. So you can't be a hero in the community if you caping, but you only trying to cape for yourself. That's not a hero. That's not what a security officer or police officer should be doing. So at the end of the day, this is a selfless assignment. This is a selfless career, selfless job, where you give yourself to protect the greater good of the community. And sometimes, not all the time, and I'm not saying that anyone should lose their life, whether it be a perpetrator or the police officer. But I am saying, if you scared, go to church.
Okay.
If you scared, you need to be working somewhere else, boo-boo. There are plenty of places that need somebody to fry some fries and flip some burgers. There are plenty of hotel rooms that need to be cleaned and that need sheets tucked in.
Okay.
So if you're scared, this is not the place for you. And that's how I feel about it. Like, I work with people all the time. I work with officers all the time, and they do have superiority complexes. They do believe like everybody needs to bow down to them, and they get to do whatever they want to do because they got the badge and the gun. But at the end of the day, it's a whole lot of people out here with guns and no badges. Right. Let's be clear. I'm not telling anybody to hurt or harm anybody. That is not my message. But what I am saying is that there is a reckoning. And it does not always happen in the courtroom like it has happened in the Derek Chauvin case. But there is a reckoning that is coming to a head. There is a reckoning that is on the horizon, that is coming to fruition. And it is very important that we stay woke, we stay alert, and we stay active, because this is going to be a fight until Jesus come back. Okay. Because there's always a fight between good and evil. Yeah. And good and evil is going to operate in every space, even including law enforcement and in places where there should be criminal justice or some type of justice going on, courtrooms and places like that. And so, right, so they say it's not justice. They say it's accountability, right? Because what's the difference between justice and accountability?
Justice is served. Like, I don't know how to explain. Justice is, I don't know. You can't give justice to... You can't bring back anybody, so it ain't no justice.
You can't bring back somebody. You can't make someone whole. They can give this man's family, they can give the Floyd family $500 million.
And they can never make up for...
It can't make up for the loss of this man's life, because who wouldn't want their father? You think that little girl, Gianna, wouldn't want her father there with her when she graduates, when she gets married, when she has her first child? Like, that's a little girl without a dad. So now we have other issues that we're working on, right? We have a child that is fatherless, and we know what the statistics on that is, right? So she's now at a deficit because her father's not there, and she's more pushed into harm's way because her father's not there. So there's no justice to be had. There is just accountability. So two things that we need to do. First thing we need to do is we need to disband police unions. Police unions are only there to ensure that police officers who do wrong or get caught making a mistake, I'm going to quote unquote, I'm going to air quote that mistake, or get caught making a mistake, that they get to go home, keep their job, keep their pension, and stay out of courtrooms where they are the defendant. That's the only reason for the police union. Secondly, the Law Enforcement Bill of Rights. We need to do away with that. The Law Enforcement Bill of Rights essentially says that someone can do anything to you while they're in uniform, and even if they're not in uniform, but if they're operating in the capacity as a law enforcement officer, that they can do whatever they want to do to you. They can kill you, they can maim you, they can hurt you, they can lie to you, they can do all these things if they feel like their life is threatened. Again, if you scared, do what?
Go to church.
Go to church. Okay? If you scared, go to church. I know it hurt. Okay? So, and that's from a street theologian from back in the day. Okay? That's from a street theologian. So we just wanted to give like an opportunity and platform to say that we ain't done. We ain't finished.
Just started.
It's
next officer, please.
Next officer, please.
Honey Boo Boo's mama. What's her name?
Oh, why you messing with Honey Boo Boo's mama?
I'm talking about you know what I'm talking about. Honey Boo Boo's mama look good.
You mean the new lady?
You know, I'm talking about the
new lady. Mm-hmm. Okay, that shot the young brother, the 20-year-old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she up next. I'm ready for her. She up next. And y'all know I'm serious about this. I'm wearing my real hair. Y'all know I don't wear my real hair, okay?
Unless she's serious.
Because I'm bald-headed out here, okay? Because I'm bald-headed. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no hair. Ain't got no hair. But y'all know I don't fool around. I got my baby. Okay, look. I got the whole honey.
She's not playing.
We blackity black today about this, okay? So this one's for the culture, and you guys need to remain for the culture. Keep pushing your freedoms. Keep pushing your liberty. Don't let nobody tell you that you need to acquiesce or kowtow or cower to someone just because they have a badge on. I'm not telling you to be to put yourself in danger. I'm not telling you to act crazy with the cop. If you ain't about that life, then go back into your slave mentality. But if you about that life, it starts with you. It starts with us. And you know, the sister, Madam Secretary, the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, she kind of said it, but she said it wrong, right? She said, "Thank you, George Floyd, for giving your life, so that to help us, so that we can be more free, to help someone out." So she didn't mean it like that. She ain't never been good with words. Yeah, but what she is saying is that because of this tragic incident where he lost his life, this court case has set a precedence for us to be for real about police reform, for us to be for real about overhauling this system of discrimination, this system of superiority, this system of oppression, this system of infiltration, where cops are being infiltrated from other communities that don't like our communities to come into our communities and keep us in a place of bondage, to keep us in a place of slavery. And so she didn't say it quite like that, but she meant that. You know, people say after the fact things all the time. People say, you know, Martin Luther King gave his life for the cause. I don't remember him jumping in front of a bullet. He was murdered just like George Floyd. He didn't give his life. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And we talk about the brother who's for the people. Chairman Fred, he for the people, right? Definitely. He lived for the people and he died for the people. Okay, so he is a revolutionary, right? We all can be revolutionaries, but we don't set ourselves up every single day that we go out here and we activate it and we about this life to just be like, okay, today I want to be a martyr. Today I want to get shot. We do know that living while Black, no matter what you're doing, is always a situation of martyrdom. You may never make it home to your family, just going out to get a latte, just going out to get your car service, just going out to take your kids to school. There's always a point in our life while living while Black where we can become a tragedy and a hashtag. And my sister Naomi, she I can't say it no better than she can say it. Let freedom ring. Period. All right. That's the end of our broadcast. We thank you for joining Unapologetic. We'll be with you next Friday. Again, it's going to be me and a special guest. We'll be out here with all the kikis, all the laughs, and all the everythings. And we should be on time next week. I'm hoping. We a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Africa's Americans, not Black, because there's Black excellence. There ain't no African American excellence. So on the weeks that we late, we African American. Right. Okay, so we was a little African American tonight, and so next week we plan on being here. Black excellence, 7 p.m. Tune in, don't miss it. Peace.